Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, today we're talking about how you can protect your wealth as a federal employee, because it's one thing to build wealth. It's another thing to actually protect it so that you can get the most out of it. It's one thing to work hard and to save and to grow your money, actually keeping it, protecting it, guarding it. That sometimes is a harder thing to do. That's what we're going to dive into today. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dallin Haas. I'm a financial planner who serves federal employees every day, just like you. So I love doing it. Let's jump in. There's really two sides when it comes to protecting and managing your wealth while working and in retirement. The first side is the actual managing your wealth. And when I say wealth, there's lots of different definitions of wealth. Maybe you've got a home, maybe you have other real estate. For most feds, when I say wealth, they think about TSP. And when it comes to, let's say, your home, normally speaking, it's not super complicated when it comes to protecting. As long as you maintain it well, you'll probably maintain that piece of your wealth fairly well. Where most feds run into issues with their investments, whether it's TSP, IRAs, brokerage accounts, 401ks, that's where most feds, if they're going to have issues protecting their wealth, it's with their investments. So the first thing is just how someone manages their investments. If you invest your wealth, invest your money in things that aren't appropriate, that'll be the fastest way to not protect your wealth, right? And so the first thing is, do you have an investment strategy? What is your strategy? And let me make something super clear. When some people think about, I need to protect my wealth, they think of the G fund. They think, hey, I need to stick it in some place that never goes down. And that is true in the short term. So it depends what our timeline is. If your goal is to protect your wealth over the next couple of years, the G fund may be perfect for you. But if your goal is to protect your wealth over the next decades, next 2, 3, 4 decades, whatever your timeline is, then the G fund, which normally gets eaten alive by inflation over those kind of time horizons, may not be the best way to protect your wealth. Most people think the G fund is not taking any risk, but it is over a longer period. You're taking inflation risk if you're just 100% G fund. So I'm not anti-G fund, by the way. I'm just anti being all G fund when you really shouldn't based on your goals. That's what I'm anti, okay? So number one is what is your investment plan while working and in retirement? If you want more details on kind of thoughts and strategies you can use for that, I've got other videos on that. But number one, do you have an investment plan? Okay, so that's it. Now, next, the other piece, other than just making sure your investments are actually in the things that they're supposed to be in, protection, okay? Life is about two sides. It's first about growing the good stuff, growing your assets. It's also about protecting yourself from negatives, right? Protecting yourself if something big came up, you have protection. And one of the best ways to protect yourself is insurance. And there's, of course, all types of different insurance. There's health, right? There is life insurance, dental vision insurance, long-term care insurance. There's all the different types of insurance. And if you have the right insurance, then when those big events come up, whether it's a car accident, whether it's this, whether it's that, whether your home gets destroyed, if you've got the right insurance, you are protected. You're protected. Your wealth is protected. If you got the right insurance, when that big thing happens, the insurance protects you, and you don't have to go to, let's say, TSP and other areas of your wealth to finance it. So these two sides of building wealth and protecting wealth are critical. Actually growing your wealth over time, investing it well to do so, and then having the insurance to guard against the unknowns in life. And of course, health insurance is for health medical issues that might come up. That's super important. As federal employees, you have some incredible health insurance options. But the question for you is, are you on the right plan? Is it a good enough plan? Or maybe is it overkill? What I've seen for most feds, they tend to err on the over coverage side, okay? Now, if you're going to err on one side, maybe that's the side to err on. But what I've found is many feds have coverage that sometimes is overkill. They're paying tons in premiums for a plan they really don't use much. Now, I don't know if that's true for you. I don't. So please don't make a change to your plan just because I said that. Make sure it makes sense for you. But there's two ways to err when it comes to insurance. You can err with not enough, and that you don't want that. But you can also err to just too much. For example, I see people having life insurance at a time when they don't need it. Again, you want to make sure that's true for you before you make any decisions based on your situation. But do you need the insurance? If so, please get it. Okay? So health, of course, is for health issues. Life insurance is, hey, if something happened, if you passed away, are your loved ones taken care of? Are your loved ones taken care of? And some people have enough assets built up themselves that the answer is yes, they would be taken care of even without life insurance. That's the question for you. Dental and vision are important, but not nearly as important generally as health and life insurance. Dental and vision, what I've found is if it's something you use a lot, maybe it's worth it. If it's not so much, then sometimes it's just not worth it. Now, let's talk about long-term care. Long-term care insurance is one of those that can get exceptionally expensive, especially nowadays. What we have found is that most long-term care insurance companies are having to really increase their prices because they didn't foresee all the expenses that come with running these programs. So most people that have long-term care insurance policies, the premiums have gone up significantly. Even the government's program has gone up significantly priced over the years. So there's two ways to think about long-term care. And by the way, just to clarify what I'm talking about here, when I'm talking about long-term care, I'm talking about, hey, if one day you needed to be in a nursing home or assisted living, those sort of facilities are exceptionally expensive. And so a long-term care insurance policy says, hey, look, while you're working, or not necessarily just while you're working, but the insurance company comes to you and says, hey, if you pay premiums of XYZ, then if you ever need to be in a long-term care facility, we will help pay for some of the costs. That's the idea. But again, the cost of the premiums have gone up and up and up. And so it's making less sense for more and more people to get a policy like this. Now, if you already haven't, maybe it's a good policy. I don't know, right? And maybe this could still make sense for you. Again, I don't know for you. You could look into it. But what a lot of people are doing that, for a lot of people it works better, is they self-insure. Just like life insurance, there comes a point where not everyone needs life insurance anymore. If you've got enough assets built up where if something happened to you, financially, your spouse or whoever you leave would be okay. The same is true for long-term care. Most people get to a point that says, hey, if we ended up being in long-term care, then we've got enough assets and things built up ourselves, whether our home equity, whether our TSP, whether other investments, whatever, or maybe our kids will take care of us, right? You've got things in place that would be able to cover long-term care expenses without having to actually get the insurance. So I'm not saying that applies to everyone. Again, please do your homework, right? Because it's a balancing act of not having too much, but having what you need to be covered, okay? So again, as a summary, when it comes to protecting your wealth as a federal employee, number one, make sure you're invested correctly. And number two, make sure you have the insurance on all areas, health, life, dental, vision, long-term care, that is appropriate, but you don't want to overkill. But you don't want to undershoot either. You got to find the balance for you, right? And each one of these are a little different. So hopefully that gives you some context and some answers to how you can protect your wealth a little bit better as a federal employee. And I'll see you in the next video.